Hello, my name is Toldson. I'm Associate Professor at Howard University, Senior Research Analyst for the Congressional Black Caucus Foundation, and Editor-in-Chief of the Journal of Negro Education. And recently I did a seminar for Inside the School on breaking barriers, plotting the path to academic success for school-aged African American males. And right now I'm going to respond to a question about that seminar. So this question is from Danielle, and I'll read it in its entirety. Thank you so much for providing the seminar. As I was watching the seminar, I could not stop thinking that much of what was found through the research is probably true of most students. The seminar provided some good reminders. I am teaching health in a suburban high school in which students from a nearby city attend. We also have students that live in town from New York City that are enrolled in a similar program. I have most of these students in my class, and like I try to do with all of my students, I try to get to know them personally and show compassion, show respect, and treat people fairly. At times I feel as if my African American males do not welcome my interests. While this is true for other students, it seems more prevalent in this population. Do you have any additional suggestions for breaking barriers with students who seem closed off to this type of interaction? So I want to first thank you, Danielle, for this question. I think it's a very important one, and I also think that you've made some key observations. One observation that you made was that the research findings in breaking barriers is true for all students. Sometimes the problem is that there's a disproportionate amount of these different criteria applied across races and gender, and so that's what we're trying to correct. I also noticed in your inquiry that a lot of things that you are trying, that you stated that you try, are things that are good. They're prudent practices for this population. They may not be getting the kind of results that you want them to get right now, and it can be frustrating when one group of students seems in isolation not to gravitate towards your methods as other students do. But you do concede that all the students have some difficulty with trust. It's just that your African American males seem to have particular interests, which are difficulties, which doesn't surprise me very much. I've worked in various populations with African American males, prison settings, substance abuse treatment centers, and a group home for adolescent males who were in state custody. And I can tell you that when a young black male is in an environment where they have reason to doubt the authenticity of the person working with them, reason to believe that the person isn't being nice to them because they are genuinely nice, but they have some ulterior motive, there is a tendency for them to shut that person off, to be close to that person. I've had to deal with that in my own professional experiences. I have been successful in breaking through that. And a lot of what I've done are some of the things that you stated that you're doing. I may have had more time and more one-on-one interaction to make sure that it was consistently done. But I can say that I've gotten some of the same results that you have initially. I've gotten perhaps better results as time went on. So that's the first thing I'll encourage you to do, is to give them some time and to work through this in a way that you can appreciate the fact that this isn't anything that's just gonna change automatically. Now, one finding from the seminar that I want to point out to you that may help you understand your situation, and I printed out one of the graphs that you may have seen, but this graph right here looks at the relationship between trusting people in your environment and your academic success. And what you see there is that students who trust people in their environment more have a much greater experience in school with their academic success. What you also see, if you look at the white plots versus the gray plots and the black plots, is that white students have a much easier time trusting people in their environment than black and Latino males. So what we know from that is that across races, no matter what your race is, trusting people in your environment correlates with academic success, and also Black and Latino males have a much more difficult time trusting people in their environment. So this is the environment that they're growing up in. This is the streets that they have to walk to school every day. So if you think about it, if they're having trouble trusting people in that environment, think of the kind of trouble they'll have trusting you coming from the outside. So one thing that is going to be required in you developing the best strategy is just an understanding of where they are when they come in, understanding that they're not going to automatically gravitate towards you because of the environment that they might be in. Now, there's some principles that I think work in the long run for this population and the other population. I wrote about it in the article that I published more than 5 years ago now, and I can share that with you if you email me. But some of the principles from person-centered therapy, one is congruence, being your authentic self. Young Black males tend to shut down if they feel like you're working under a facade, under a pretense, and that you aren't genuinely nice. You're just being nice to them because you might be scared of them or anything like that. So just being yourself and being yourself enough that they understand that's who you are is something that will help to break down that barrier. The second thing is unconditional positive regard. Young Black males have a difficult time with trusting people, and they often feel like people are judging them. Just looking at all of the media images and everything that's out there, they feel very guarded, and they automatically feel like they have to be on the defensive because so many people are talking bad about their situation right now. So you have to be able to listen to them. Some of the things that you've already said, but it just takes a little bit more time. But you have to have that unconditional positive regard. The final thing is empathy. You have to have an empathetic understanding of where they are. Just like I demonstrated with that graph, the young Black males at your school and Latino males are coming from a different place and a different experience than a lot of your white kids in that environment. And so you have to have an empathetic understanding of how might someone feel if they're having difficulty trusting people and feeling safe in the area where they live. What kind of baggage would they bring to school? And just being empathetic towards that, conceding the fact that, it's not going to be easy for you to just automatically trust me. But I'm going to be here for you anyway. I'm going to be here for you for the long run. And so, we can work together and make sure you get what you want out of life and what you deserve out of life. So it takes the kind of empathy that doesn't question their behavior, but understand where it comes from, even if it has to change. So those are some caveats I can share with you. Feel free to contact me directly at Toldson, ITOLDSON @howard.edu if you want the article that I told you about earlier, or if you want to correspond a little bit more. But thank you for participating in the seminar on Inside the School, and I look forward to future dialogue with you and everybody else who might have viewed it. Thank you.